Few figures have commanded the level of intrigue, admiration, and controversy as Napoleon Bonaparte. A Corsican by birth, a Frenchman by adoption, a European by ambition, and an emperor by his audacity, Napoleon's journey from modest beginnings to unprecedented heights of power offers a narrative as complex as the man himself. Born on August 15, 1769, to Carlo Bonaparte and Letizia Ramolino in Ajaccio, Corsica, Napoleon was the second of 8 surviving children. His family, of minor Italian nobility, were not affluent but had significant political influence. His father's alliance with the French when Corsica was ceded to France in 1768 paved the way for Napoleon's future prospects. Young Napoleon, through a scholarship, was enrolled at the prestigious Brienne Military Academy in mainland France at the age of 9. Throughout his early education, Napoleon was often the target of bullying, isolated for his Corsican accent and comparatively meager upbringing. It was here, however, that his strategic prowess began to manifest. During the frigid winters at Brienne, he orchestrated intricate snowball fights with military precision, offering the first glimpses of his tactical genius. This isolation and the ensuing resilience would not only fuel his intellectual pursuits, but also ignite a fervent ambition for greater recognition and social standing. In 1784, Napoleon moved to the École Militaire in Paris, the preeminent military academy of France. However, his tenure there was cut short due to his father's untimely death, forcing him to complete the 2-year program in a single year to secure a commission and provide for his family. His initial years in the French army were marked by a palpable sense of disillusionment with the Bourbon monarchy, a deep-rooted feeling that would later find expression in his support for the French Revolution. The Revolution, which commenced in 1789, offered Napoleon an opportunity to prove his military acumen and climb the echelons of power. It was during the siege of Toulon in 1793, where he expelled the British forces, that Napoleon first tasted significant victory and was promoted to the rank of brigadier general. The Toulon triumph was a turning point, where he not only showcased his innovative artillery tactics, but also displayed the boldness that would become the hallmark of his military career. However, the tumultuous climate of revolutionary France was as ruthless as it was opportunistic. Napoleon, caught in the crosshairs of political infighting, was briefly imprisoned in 1795. But fortune favored him when his release coincided with a royalist uprising against the revolutionary government in Paris. His successful defense of the government catapulted him to national fame and secured his position as the commander of the French army in Italy. The Italian campaign, 1796 to 1797, was a masterstroke of tactical genius that brought northern Italy under French control. It was during this time that Napoleon also wed Josephine de Beauharnais, marking a significant personal milestone. However, beneath the triumphant veneer of the Italian campaign, seeds of political ambition were taking root in Napoleon's mind. His dispatches from Italy not only narrated tales of his military victories, but also subtly highlighted his leadership and strategic acumen, fashioning a formidable public image. This self-promotion, coupled with his increasing political savvy, created a sense of anticipation in the French populace, a feeling that this man was destined for greatness. And as history unfolded, this prophecy became self-fulfilling. Napoleon's life up to this point is a tale of relentless determination, unparalleled strategic foresight, and an unyielding pursuit of power. It's a narrative filled with challenges, marked by personal hardships, professional victories, and strategic gambits. This initial journey forged the Napoleon who would later craft a new European order, transforming the socio-political landscape of the continent, leaving an indelible mark on the world. The stage was set for the rise of one of history's most enigmatic figures, a man whose ambition knew no bounds, and whose legacy continues to reverberate through the corridors of history. As the dawn of the new century broke, Napoleon found himself at the helm of a political coup, which in November 1799 overthrew the Directory, the government that had ruled France since the fall of the monarchy. As first consul, Napoleon began consolidating his power and implementing reforms that would reshape France. His legal reform, the Napoleonic Code, was particularly transformative, impacting civil law systems worldwide. Under his consulship, Napoleon embarked on an administrative overhaul, modernizing the financial system, streamlining the education system, and reforming the church's role in the state. These measures won him widespread support and helped stabilize the tumultuous post-revolutionary France. With the country firmly under his grasp, Napoleon declared himself emperor in 1804, turning the French Republic into the French Empire. With the crown firmly on his head, Napoleon turned his gaze beyond France. The ensuing years were marked by a series of wars, known as the Napoleonic Wars, a relentless drive to establish French hegemony over Europe. Victory followed victory as he defeated Austria, Prussia, and Russia, forever altering Europe's geopolitical landscape. However, his audacious plans were not without their pitfalls. The Peninsular War in Spain and Portugal, which began in 1807, stretched his military resources thin and sparked nationalistic resistance across Europe. Yet, it was the disastrous 1812 Russian campaign, in which he lost much of his Grande Armée, that marked the beginning of Napoleon's downfall. His subsequent defeat in the Battle of Leipzig in 1813 led to his abdication and exile to the island of Elba in 1814. But the Napoleonic saga was far from over. In a dramatic turn of events, Napoleon escaped Elba in 1815 and returned to power in the episode known as the 100 Days. However, his second stint as emperor was short-lived. He was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo, marking the end of his reign and the Napoleonic Wars. After Waterloo, he was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic, where he lived out the rest of his days, far from the power and glory that had once defined him. He died on May 5, 1821, ostensibly from stomach cancer, though the exact cause remains the subject of speculation. Napoleon's personal life was punctuated with intense relationships and dramatic shifts of fortune. His marriage to Josephine de Beauharnais, although filled with deep affection, was fraught with difficulties, largely due to their inability to have children. His desire for an heir led him to divorce Josephine in 1810 and marry Marie-Louise of Austria, who bore him a son, Napoleon II, a year later. While many debate the morality of Napoleon's methods and the repercussions of his ambitious conquests, none can deny the impact of his life on the course of European history. His innovative military strategies continue to be studied in military academies worldwide, and his administrative reforms formed the foundation of modern France. Napoleon's influence extended far beyond the battlefield and the throne room. His charismatic leadership, strategic vision, and formidable will created a persona that has been celebrated, vilified, and analyzed, but never ignored. Even today, nearly 2 centuries after his death, the figure of Napoleon Bonaparte continues to captivate the imagination, inviting us to reflect on the nature of power, ambition, and the human spirit's indefatigable resilience. Napoleon Bonaparte was a man of many facets, but above all, he was an individual who dared to dream, to aspire, to conquer. His life serves as a testament to the heights that can be achieved when indomitable will meets inexhaustible ambition. He was, indeed, a man who shaped an era,